Hello children, today I am going to explain lesson number 9, reproduction in animals. Reproduction is essential for the continuation of a species. Reproduction is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kind of individuals generation after generation. So you have understood what is reproduction. Reproduction is a process by which an individual gives birth to another young individual exactly like him, like it. For example, an elephant gives birth to a baby elephant, a dog gives birth to a puppy. Let us see modes of reproduction. So how these young ones are born? Let's see this table. Table number 9.1. Human baby is called young one of a human is called baby. Cat, young one is called kitten. Dog, puppy. Butterfly, larva. Hens, chick. Cow, calf. Frog, tadpole. So young ones of animals we have already studied in our lower classes what they are called. Now reproduction is, there are two types of reproduction. Modes of reproduction. Heading is modes of reproduction. Now modes of reproduction are two types. Sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Let us see what is sexual reproduction. In your previous classes you have already studied reproduction in plants. In this chapter we are going to study reproduction in animals. Like plants, animals also have male and female reproductive parts. And these reproductive parts produce gametes or sex cells. And these gametes fuse to form zygote. So this type of reproduction beginning from the fusion of male and female gamete is called sexual reproduction. Now let us see male reproductive organs. Male reproductive organs. The male reproductive organs are a pair of testes, two sperm ducts and a penis. Pair of testes. These are testes. Pair of testes, sperm duct and penis. Now they produce sperm. Testes produce sperms, which is the male gamete. Male gamete is called sperm. Sperms are very small in size and they have a head and they have a middle part and they have a tail, and it is a single cell. Male reproductive gamete, sperm is a single cell. Look at the diagram of the sperm. It has a head, middle piece and a tail. Then we come to female reproductive organs. Female reproductive organs consist of two ovaries, oviduct and uterus. Ovaries produce eggs, which is the female gamete. And like sperm, egg is also a single cell. Female gametes are called egg or ova. In human beings, a single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. So every month one egg is released. You see, millions of sperms are released. In contrast to that, only one egg is released every month. Now size of the eggs also is varies. In human being, the eggs is very small in size, whereas in hen it is much larger. An ostrich egg is the largest. Fertilization. Now what is fertilization? The fusion of sperm and ovum to produce zygote is called fertilization. This process is known as fertilization. During fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg, they fuse to form a single nucleus, and this is the formation of zygote. Look at the diagram. The sperms are trying to enter the egg, and then the nucleus of the sperm and the egg fuse together to form a single nucleus, and this is called zygote. Now, fertilization is again two types: internal fertilization and external fertilization. Fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. In most of the animals around us, human beings, cows, dogs, goats, they all exhibit internal fertilization. Now, test tube babies. Have you ever heard of the term test tube babies? This term may be a little misleading. The babies do not grow in the test tube. In some females, the oviducts are blocked. So because of this, sperms cannot reach the eggs. So in such cases, doctors collect the eggs and the sperm and keep them together for a few hours for IVF, in vitro fertilization. Fertilization outside the body. And when the fertilization occurs, zygote is allowed to develop for about a week in the test tube. Then it is placed in the mother's uterus. And complete development takes place in the uterus, and the baby is born like any other babies. So the babies which are born through this technique are called test tube babies. Now, what is external fertilization? Let us see activity 9.1. If we go and see some ponds, maybe we can see, during spring season or rainy season, we can see clusters of frog eggs floating in water. During spring or rainy season, frogs and toads move to ponds and slow moving streams. When the male and female come together in the water, the female lays hundreds of eggs in water. The female frog lays hundreds of eggs in water. Now these eggs are not like hen's egg. They are not covered by shell. They are very delicate and they are covered by a jelly-like substance. A layer of jelly holds the eggs together and provides protection to them. Now, as the eggs are laid in water, the male deposits sperms over them. So each sperm swims randomly in water with the help of his long tail, and they come in contact with the eggs and fertilization takes place. So this type of fertilization, in which the fusion of male and female gamete, that means fusion of sperm and egg, takes place outside the body of the female, is called external fertilization, and it is very common in aquatic animals such as fish and starfish. Now, why do fish and frogs lay eggs in hundreds, whereas hen lays only one egg at a time? Why? Why do they lay so many eggs? Let us see the answer. Though these animals like frogs and toads, they lay hundreds of eggs and release millions of sperms, all the eggs do not get fertilized and develop into new individual. Why? Because the eggs and the sperm get exposed to water. Because the fertilization is external, the eggs are also laid in water and sperms are also laid in water. So they are getting exposed to water movement, wind, rainfall, and also there are other animals in the pond which may eat the eggs. Therefore, they have to produce large number of eggs and sperms to ensure fertilization of at least few of them. So, we have seen what is internal fertilization, what is external fertilization. So, in this, my video is only till here today. So, let us just see what we have learned today. We have learned what is reproduction, modes of reproduction, sexual and asexual. Then we have seen what is sexual reproduction, what are the male reproductive organs, what are the female reproductive organs. Then what is fertilization? We have seen what is fertilization, internal fertilization and external fertilization. Fertilization, then internal fertilization, then external fertilization. Then we have also answered this question that why do this fish and frogs, they lay hundreds of eggs. The reason also is given. Now with this I finish my today's video. I will try to complete this whole lesson in my next video. Thank you.